wolves fighting and barking, and it sounds like they're devouring a carcass, and I'm walking and I hear that. Why would I walk my dumb ass into a pack of wolves? Well, that's what you do when you live on a planet that can show you history of occurrences from a sector of people, and for some reason you still want to break your neck to belong to that sector of people, as if you don't believe that by joining that sector of people, you make yourself guilty of all the crimes this sector of people has committed. Now, it's real simple. If you take your ass down there to that corner and you see 4 men kill 3 people in the bank and steal a bag of money and run away with it, and then they hiding out in the barn somewhere, and you know they hiding in that barn, and you take your dumb ass in there because you know they in there with the money, and you want to get some of the money, and the police come in there and raid the place while you in there with the bank robbers and the murderers. How the hell are you going to sit there and try to tell the judge, oh, I just wanted to get some of the money, but I didn't have nothing to do with the bank robbery or the murders? That's what you do when you join those religions. You want to take a part of the benefits, but you don't want to have your hand tarnished with the blood money that all the wealth came from. So you want to overlook that part. Oh, I'm just here for Jesus. No, you can't do that, because you know the history of the crimes and the acts of atrocious atrocities out of this world. You know it. I can open the Bible myself and show you nothing from the front page to the back page. War, 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 war. In the name of their God. You're not going to murder all those people and then sit up and try to tell me that you're standing on divine principles, because I'm too damn smart for that. I don't know what to say about the rest of you people. If you want to be that damn stupid, you go ahead. But I've been sent here to point things out to you, and that's all I'm doing. I don't care if you don't like it.
Not the solution to the human race. You see, you probably heard that they tell the human race and the rulers that you need to make peace, and you need to end your weaponry and stop killing each other and stop doing these harmful things to each other, and we'll help.
Okay, let's deal with that. No, see, they're not coming down here negotiating that. They're not saying, you know, you should stop making all these weapons and you should have peace with you. No, they're not. You know what they're doing? They're destroying the launching of that. They're destroying the weapons, and they're destroying the people who launched that foolish propaganda. They're not coming down here saying any of that stuff. You can see that. You know what they're doing? They're destroying the military. They're destroying the Navy. They're destroying the... You don't need to take my word for it. When was the last time you seen a jet flying around?
You. But yet, what you don't told is that these aliens also want our help too. How is that? How is it if they got things together,
see the formation?
Why do they need our help?
See, they showing you right there.
If they're so superior, why do they need us to disarm? If they can help us, why don't they just do it? Why do they need something from us?
They don't. See, the problem is you're the one who needs something. You need for everybody on the earth to believe that these people are evil, so we won't see the good help that they are and be able to combat you and get your ass out of the way with your religious dogma and your corrupt governments while the opportunity is here. Okay, here's what the deal is. They do not need our help for anything. We all know that. What do they need our help for? We can't even grow our own food. We sitting here on earth, we're so helpless and so stupid as hell. We depends on the governments that's backing this guy up to put food in the store for us so we can even have food to eat. We too stupid to all team up together in our neighborhoods and grow our own food together. So why would they need us? I'll tell you what they need. They need for us to return to our consciousness, because the stuff that we're doing on the earth is small now. But if we don't fix our act on earth, it will spread into other areas, just like them dumbass satellites that I just showed you they got floating around out there in space. So these people ain't stupid. They sitting around, they know if it wasn't for little, that wouldn't be big. So they saying, we're going to go down there and give them a chance to get it together. And if they don't, we're just going to burn their ass up. Because they're not going to come out here and contaminate everything and make everything else around them be all decayed and shit like they did there. Trust me on that.
Have you ever wondered why? A good hustler knows that when you hustle something, you need to get back in return.
Well, since he said that, I want to point something out of you.
All these shows want you to think
because
they're
he's
aliens.
absolutely right. Now you see that big crane? That was definitely
The
on
truth is
Earth,
out there,
because you saw the crane.
and they're not
But I
aliens.
want to show you something.
You ever asked yourself, why would they want you to think that, though?
Look at this. This is some technology.
You see,
right
if
here.
you think alien, You don't think about Jesus. And when you think alien,
That stuff that we just witnessed right there, it seemed to me like those are some type of collection devices to collect something that was in the air. It was something that was in the air, and I think those things was shot out to us like sponges to absorb something.
it makes you doubt Jesus. And when you doubt Jesus, guess what happens? These aliens
become
run
wise
right
as well.
over you. They take control of you.
They make you
They
wise.
possess
They make you
you.
stop eating meat. They
They
make
do
you stop
terrible
smoking
things.
cigarettes. They make you stop
They're not your
fornicating.
friend,
They really do
Not my
change you and
friend.
make you become godlike.
and they're not the
They are
solution
very
to the
wise,
human race.
very healthy,
You
very
see,
clean, pure
you
people.
probably heard that
That's why they made
they
it
tell the
light,
human
white light
race and
too.
the
It get no
rulers
purer
that
than that.
you need to make peace and you need to end your weaponry.
That's
and
why
stop
Jesus
killing
always
each
had
other
a light behind him.
Stop doing these harmful things to each other and we'll help you. But yet,
Look at him.
what you don't told is that these aliens also want our help too. How is that? How is it if they got things together, why do they need our help?
They don't. Look what they got. They got this whole big
If they're
sun
so
going back up
superior,
right here, and they know that it's God. They
Why do
know
they
that the
use the
sun
sun?
made them, so they need us to start
if
listening
they
to
can
them. That's
help
what
us,
they need
why
from
don't they
us.
just do it? Why do they need something from us?
See the
Have you ever
sun?
wondered why?
You see it?
A good
Look at
hustler
it.
knows
Look at
that
that.
when you
What can
hustle
we
something,
give them that they can't
you
get from
need
that?
to get back in return. You're doing it because you want to make that person happy so that you
Now
to
watch
make
something
yourself
shoot.
happy
Watch.
when you get back
They're having a
in
war. Watch,
return.
you're going to see projectiles being shot.
A hustler will sell you something, but he wants the money. Do you understand?
You see
You
those
know-
projectiles?
When dealing with these beings in negotiation, where your tax dollars are being
Look at this
used
big
to
bad
talk
boy
to
right
you,
here.
and you're not even told anything
Woo-wee.
about it.
Woo-wee.
beings
Look at that. Talking about a
They
mothership.
promise people technology.
This is what
They
they
promise
want to hide from
people
you. This is the
solid
black
medical problems.
extraterrestrial
They promise to show
force
them
of
the
universal
ruins of planets
control
and to take
that
them
the
there
Europeans on
and to
the
help
earth,
them
the
build a
governing body
society
know
there
about it. They don't
without
want
the
you to
people.
know about it.
which is you, me, and the people they're supposed
This is
to
how
be ruling
powerful.
over, and basically feeding us and taking care
That's
of
what
us
that
and
is.
making society possible for us.
That's what it is right there. That's all it
Former
is.
astronaut
And the Egyptians
says aliens
showed us
exist
all
and
that.
the government has been covering up incidents of contact for years now. Dr. Edgar Mitchell says aliens have visited our planet, and he believes the government covered up the discovery of an alien spacecraft in 1947, as well as 4 alien bodies that were found in the desert.
Look, let me explain something to y'all. That wasn't nothing. That 1947 stuff wasn't nothing because since 1947, ain't nothing improved. It's been more barbaric actions on the earth than ever before, alright? So this is all Hollywood propaganda stuff, you know what I'm saying? Let me explain something to you. The true occurrence of these UFOs visiting earth and stuff like that, it's so ancient, way before the Bible. Everything in the Bible was plagiarized off of the stone structures that was all over the planet made by the melanated man and woman. So it's obvious that these people that come from the blackness of space brought people here and put them on this planet. So what's going on is that the people that has been victimized by an unknown sector of people on this earth, that I'm not going to say who it was, you really got yourselves into some trouble because these spaceships you see flying around here, they pretty much put us here on this earth through the sunlight, and the sunlight made those spaceships, and the sunlight made us here on this earth too. So what's going on is that we're all one family, and if you want to dichotomize yourself away from the blackness of our universe, you go right ahead.
The reason for the denial was, number one, they didn't know if these were hostile and could we protect ourselves from them. They didn't want the Soviets to know, so.
That as we would create
I don't like
objects
listening to
and
them
as we
because
would
they always
form
try to
these
make you
objects
believe
through
that somebody
resources
else is the bad
and
guy.
through the materials and the powers that we have, their powers is that they can transform themselves into objects. And so we're talking objects that look like space-age vehicles and planes. We're talking about objects.
Listen, I tell you that all the time. I told you guys. I say these lights can take on manifestations of anything they want to. They can turn into a human being and walk up to you and talk to you. And I know they can because they do it to me all the time. That's how come I'm here. They made me manifest on the earth in the form of this personification. And I keep telling everybody that. And y'all be looking at me like, well, you don't have any money and you don't have no congregation and all that is man stuff. We way past man stuff. We're dealing with spirituality, okay? So stop letting all these man-made vices that is in conjunction with your limited senses make you don't be able to see past their holographic existence of what they're giving you, the foolishness, Santa Claus, Bart Simpson, SpongeBob, drugs, unprotected mind controlled, where you just let anything that come at you be accepted, and then when real stuff come at your plate, you don't have any room for it, okay? You got to get Hollywood out of your mind, all right? All that John Wayne shit, one white man with 2 pistols murdering 500 Indians, and you know, you got your brain so messed up. Bruce Willis going on the damn asteroid, blowing it up so it don't hit Earth, and 9, 10, 15 of them fly ships on the meteorite and put an explosive device in it, while one of them is having sex with a woman, and all this old incredible shit that they do got your mind so twisted and polluted. When real stuff start going on, you don't want to have nothing to do with it.
That basically look like other entities. They can transform into a creature. They can transform into a ship.
A human.
They can transform to even look like the implements that we have. They can literally transform themselves to disguise themselves as a car, as a plane,
as a human, everything,
and as
that's
a lot of different type of objects.
Now
There's
he's telling
really
the truth. Yes, they can.
Nothing they can really do in terms of transforming. We do know that when it comes to the fallen angels, they don't have as much power as they normally would in terms
Now
of...
listen, everything he just described to you is a God power. Everything in that Bible that he just described told you when Jesus do that, it's a godly thing. But now all of a sudden, since it's not Jesus doing it, he wants to make you believe that it's something evil about it. But it's just the description of all the things that your Jesus can do. The only problem is that it's not your Jesus doing it now, so he wants to discredit it.
They're transforming.
And I don't say that to be mean, it's just an observation.
Have a very good length, so they're not totally depowered. And so a lot of them like to transform into ships. A lot of them like to transform into certain objects. A lot of them like to transform into basically UFOs, basically planes, basically other looking creatures. And sometimes it gets sporadic. You know, sometimes they kind of, you know, from a lot of the transforming and using the powers that they use in our dimension, and it kind of weighs heavy on them. You know, they can't always maintain it. They can't always maintain the form or the shapes that they take, and sometimes they go a little crazy in the atmosphere, and then sometimes it's caught on camera where they're just like morphing into like a UFO and then a dragon and then other types of forms of spiritual reptilian looking you know, helixes, if you will, you know, combinations of different...
See, now I'm going to tell you what he's trying to say but not say. I'm going to tell you from a scientific point of view. What they're saying when these things do all these manifestations, it has nothing to do with them being incapable of making a manifestation correctly, or our atmosphere is unsuited and all that old stuff. Like first he wants to show you the God quality of them. Now he come back and show you some limitations or where they couldn't really get it together. Well, let me tell you from my point of view what they're doing. They're showing you that all the concepts in our universe all come from this simple, basic... The spiral helix of all life in this earth is what we call from the tree of life, or the cosmic, okay, how do I explain this? They have this circle of life, what they call the seed of life, okay? It shows you that all manifestations in our universe all come from one basic helix, okay? The helix has its own ability to transform itself, induce itself, conduce itself. It's what we call melanin. So what they're showing you is that this thing right here reduced itself from all of that heavy-duty machinery that you saw to this little black hole right here. So it's the same representation that I see in the ancient Kemetic books, that it shows you that a snake can swallow its tail and disappear into infinity. So anytime you can eat yourself and disappear into something else that's not even on this realm of time and space anymore, let me show you exactly what they're showing you. That right there. That's exactly what they're showing.
In terms of transforming, we do know.
He's showing you how all these manifestations come from nowhere and go back to nowhere.
As they normally would in terms of their transforming abilities, but they do have them at a very good length. So they're not totally depowered. And so a lot of them like to transform into ships. A lot of them like to transform into certain objects. A lot of them like to transform into
Homeless
basically
people.
UFOs, basically planes, basically other looking creatures. And sometimes it gets sporadic, sometimes they kind of, from a lot of the transforming and using the powers that they use in our dimension, and it kind of weighs heavy on them. They can't always maintain it. They can't always maintain the form or the shapes that they take, and sometimes they go a little crazy in the atmosphere, and then sometimes it's caught on camera where they're just like morphing into like a UFO and then a dragon.
Back into the black hole.
Other types of
back into the female
forms of,
vagina.
spiritual
From the
reptilian,
vagina, all manifestation come in return to.
helixes,
That's what that is.
if you
I don't care
will,
what he said.
combinations
That's
of
what they showing you right there.
forms. For instance, you'll see
They're
some
showing you the
transforming
female
from a
vagina,
UFO into a
the
dragon-looking
beginning of
creature,
all
and then
manifestation.
back
That's what it
again,
went
and
back
then
to.
disappears and then comes back again.
And watch it come
doing
back
that,
again.
What's happening at that moment is that it's freaking out.
No, it's not freaking out. See, look. See, this is why I get mad. See, this is why the world is so stupid. Because we have people like this guy making our asses be full with stupid conceptualization about how our universe works, okay? I'm going to show you guys what goes on here. This thing right here is showing you how from the nothing comes the absolute, and to the nothing it returns. Now watch this. Just think about what I said and let me know if there's any sustainment to the fact that this thing is just showing you what I just said. That all manifestations come from the universal uterus, which is the black hole of space. This thing is going to show you it's going to come from the black hole of space, make all these manifestations, and go right back. It came out of my ass. It's just like a man or a woman. Once we fall from our mother uterus, the only thing while we're on earth after that is everything that we can to return back to the uterus that we came from. And you say, what is this fool talking about? Well, you go back into the same black hole. It's the earth. That's what I mean. So now watch this. This is what this is. It shows you from the earth came your mother. From your mother, which is a representation of the earth, came you through her portal. When you fall on the earth, you will use the earth to find a way to kill yourself, pretty much. And then once you die, you will go right back into the earth. That's what this is showing you. From the nothing comes the absolute. And from the absolute, you return to the nothing. Watch. That's what this is. Okay, watch. See, we missed the first hole. I'm sure this came from a hole to begin with. They missed that. But now watch what it does. It's going to take on all these different they call it transformation. I just call them manifestations, okay? But it is transformation because you transform from one form to another one. But watch, it's going to definitely go to the female uterus, which is that hole that I always tell you guys about, that we all come from and we all will return to. The black hole, that melanin source. The source of the light. Because remember, God was walking in all darkness and said, let there be light. So it was because of melanin that there was a reason for light. And the light is the intelligence. That's what light is, a representation of intelligence. So there's the female uterus looking like a diamond, shooting off all of this potential for life. Now watch. Watch exactly what happened. It's showing you from the nothing comes the absolute. Now see, it wasn't even that big. How did it get that big? See, it's like a baby inside a woman's stomach and then popping out 8 pounds. And it's like, damn, how did you do that? From the nothing comes the absolute, and it will return right back to the nothing, which is not the nothing, but it's the realm of unmanifestation, indifferation. See, the woman's uterus. See, that's what that is. It ain't got nothing to do with them not having the ability to maintain anything. These things are badasses. They can do whatever they want to do. They are emanations of our Creator essence. They are what you call God. See? From the nothing comes the absolute. And look at the lights in there to let you know. See? Shooting down the earth. Now watch the thumper come out. See there? Shape of the pyramid. From the nothing comes the absolute. You can see that. Look at them all popping out of there. That's what they're showing you. They're showing you from the nothing comes the absolute. And so they're saying to you, don't be stuck on this religious dogma that they're giving you down here. And they sent me here to translate this stuff to you so you can get first-hand God knowledge of what you're looking at. And that's what I am. That's the reason why I don't get caught up in a lot of stupid stuff, because I know how to avoid that negativity. And that's the reason a lot of people hate me, because they know that I'm trying to wake the earth up and make everybody return to consciousness of divine essence. Don't smoke them stupid cigarettes. Don't drink alcohol. Stop eating meat. Stop having so much sex. Stop depending on the government to feed you when you know they want to kill you. I mean, come on. Some way people got to start thinking. There's the Trinity again. I got news for you too. It's people on the ground down here that's connected with me and these guys right here that's going to really get some stuff started here real soon. And that's not for anybody to be afraid. That you should be really, really, how can I say it? You should be really happy to hear that, because otherwise they'll be going to destroy us all. Okay, let's hear what he's got to say on this. This is going to be good. I already know that. All right, hold on a minute, everybody.
What people would know them are actually fallen angels. And fallen angels have more power than people think. They're more creative in their deception than people think. Fallen angels like to pretend to be aliens. They'd rather you think something different other than what the truth is. And then you have the times
I'm gonna tell you what's funny.
where they're just like morphing into like a UFO.
I want you guys to think about something, okay? Now, first we got all this stuff going on in space, right? And then he gets us talking about fallen angels, all right? Okay, now feel me on that. Fallen angels. Okay, all this stuff right here all of a sudden don't matter anymore when he gets to talking about fallen angel. They're going to give you a sketch of what a fallen angel is. Some white people with wings. And all these white lights that's really flying around can't be the fallen angels. No, when they get to talk about fallen angels, and not the aliens from hell. Okay, now the fallen angels is a representation of something godly and good, right? Let me show you what they become then.
A foe, and then a dragon, and then other types of forms of
evil.
Spiritual reptilian looking,
Evil, in other words.
Helixes, if you will.
Right.
Combinations of different forms.
Right.
For instance, you'll see some transforming from a UFO into a dragon-looking creature.
See,
and
evil.
then back again, and then it disappears, and then
Evil.
comes back again. And when it's doing that, what's happening at that moment is that it's freaking out.
Right.
Because it can't maintain its form in our dimension.
It done came from millions of different galaxies away, but all of a sudden it can't deal with
they
it.
struggle with it.
Right.
And sometimes when they come into our dimension, they're pretty set in their form or their shape, and they're able to maintain it for probably long periods of time before they end up dissipating, and then another group comes in. And so there is a weakness to them, but we don't have the weapons to really combat them, to tell you the truth.
Of course you don't.
Fighting them is like throwing sticks at them. It's not going to work.
And they
you can throw
making you see what it was like when you came
into
into Africa with your guns and was shooting people that had spears and arrows.
When it comes to the full spiritual beings, the full fallen spiritual beings, I'm not talking about their Nephilim children, who are another story, because they can morph too, but not as.
Now listen what he said.
They can't always maintain the form or the shapes of
The full
to them.
fallen
But
angels.
we don't have the weapons to really combat them. To
Now
tell you
listen
the
to
truth.
this what he said.
Fighting them is like throwing sticks at them. It's not going to work. You
Like
can
guns and
put a
arrows.
warhead
That's
at
why
them,
they
and that's not
enslaved
gonna
everyone.
work.
They
You can
used
shoot
the
bullets
knowledge
at them, and that's not
that
gonna
we
work.
gave them and built guns
When it
with.
comes to the full spiritual beings, the full fallen spiritual beings, I'm not talking about their Nephilim children, who are another story, because they can morph too, but not as well as the fallen angels. The fallen angels, to understand them, they're usually balls of light, and then they have demons that can also appear that way. So it's tricky identifying them, but one thing that you can do is when you pay enough attention to them, or if you spent enough time observing them, you start to notice how the demon lights are not as transformable as the fallen angels. The fallen angels are, they can basically transform within seconds and disappear within seconds. And the demons, or the spiritual demons, they seem to maintain a certain form, and then they're known to just basically dissipate a lot quicker. And so that's probably the only way you can tell on that end, when it comes to these beings. Aliens are...
Okay, this is where it get good. Let me tell you guys. Remember, I was telling you that there is two forms of visitors on this earth. The one form of visitors that I have my subscription with is the light ships, the ones that you see in the sunlight when I take pictures with my camera. The light ships are the ones that you see at night flying around with the white lights around here. The other ones that he says seem to hold on manifestations longer than the other one, and then they seem to dissipate. They dissipate because their ass gets shot down. The light ships shoot them down and kill them. Okay, now the ones that's been here forever living in the ground, that is the enemy intruders, are combating the race of the North, Central, and South American people that were underground, known as the city of Atlantis, to the Europeans. These melanated people actually live under the ocean in their underground installations, and they've been there forever. They have more technology than us people who live on top of the earth. We have a race of people that live inside of the earth that is identified as one of the group of vessels flying around. We also have the visitors that is extraterrestrial that come here, that I call the emanations of our God creation. They are working as a unit with each other to eradicate the intruder force that is on the earth, that is the ones that you see getting disintegrated, just like what he said, by the two forces that I know are emerging to eradicate this evil off of the earth. Now listen, this is where it's going to get good. As you can see, the fallen angels all of a sudden, just like the Adam and Eve bullshit, you get some white lady, look, then he put some clothes on, all right? And then, of course, who's this, Gabriel or somebody? Again, racism. All the people on the earth, but only their asses get to be angels, okay? See, this is the bullshit that's got so much hatred on earth.
There are two types, aliens, as what people would know them, are actually fallen angels. And fallen angels have more power than people think. They're more creative in their deception.
Yeah, and they're freaking patriarchal as hell too, because as you can see back here, look, now the woman who would have given him birth,
weakness to them, but we don't have the weapons to really combat.
See, look.
They'd rather you think something different other than what the truth is.
See,
and then you have the Nephilim, who
always
maintain
and always
it for
sketches.
probably long periods of time before they end up dissipating, and then another group comes in. And so there is a weakness to them, but we don't have the weapons to really combat them, to tell you the truth.
So we come up with lion-ass sketches.
Fighting them is like throwing sticks at them. It's not going to work.
See?
You can throw a nuclear warhead at them, and that's not going to work. You can shoot bullets at them, and that's not going to work. When it comes to the full spiritual beings, the full fallen spiritual beings, I'm not talking about their Nephilim children, who are another story, because they can morph too, but not as well as the fallen.
Right here.
Creative
male.
in their deception
See?
than people think.
Look at this.
Fallen. It very much
male. Enoch. Supposed to be Enoch, right?
When these beings lived on Earth, and they can't.
Look at this. How's that? Now here's an alien. This is supposed to be a picture of an alien, okay? Now look at this. You see he got a Bible in his hand with the sun disk behind his head. You're talking about some brainwashing shit. So now they turned Jesus into the alien. Look at that. And then he got a little piece out up there. Talking about brainwash. Why would the alien need the sun disk behind his head when he probably done been through to a million different suns? See, it shows you they're playing with your mentality on Earth. Your stagnation of knowledge. It's the only, you see that sun behind his head, and you see that behind Jesus' head too. See how they play games with you?
And so what we have, like in the time of Enoch, when the book
White
of
people
Enoch was
again.
talking
See how
about,
racist it is?
it very much confirmed that there was a time when these beings lived on Earth, and
See,
they
look,
came from a
look at the
dimensional
sun
world,
disk.
and they actually.
Let me show you something. Look at the sun that's behind his head with the colors of the Sekhmet in it. And then you can see the fire falling to the earth. Only thing is, instead of it being the spaceships that you see flying around, they're going to give you a white personification. and put the sun back there and everything. You see, and this is what, and then you see the fire at the legs. And the only reason why they know all this stuff is because they read the books from ancient Kemet, and they know that doomsday will come to the evildoers of the earth. And so this fire stuff that's always a part of their folklore, falling from the sky and everything, is because it does happen. But it doesn't be fire. It be the lights of the UFOs. And the lights of the UFOs come down here and spread their consciousness. That's the reason why the sun is there. Because the sun, like I tell you, is light technology, light information. So when the light information comes into your body, if you don't have the right vibrations, the sunlight is going to kill you. I'm telling you the truth. When these light beings right here start coming and walking around on earth and having interactions with you, if you are stuck on some stupid dogma from religion and quest for materialism and all that stuff, you're going to be eradicated.
You know, through portals, basically.